Hi, hello, my dear students. Up to now, I uploaded two lectures on kinematics. So, we started topic kinematics. Already discussed. Kinematics will plays a crucial role in competitive purpose, and weightage of this chapter is 3 to 4 questions is a weightage. Generally, for the last previous two lectures, I discuss how many types of motions are possible for a body. For example, if you take one body, so we had three possibilities for the movement of a body. One is straight line motion, another one is uniform circular motion, and third one is projectile motion. So here these three motions can be explained in three different chapters. First one, straight line motion. This straight line motion can be explained in the chapter is body moves in one dimension. That means straight line motion can be explained in motion in a straight line. The chapter name is motion in a straight line. Motion in a straight line. This kinematics, this total kinematics should contain three chapters. Chapter 1, motion in a straight line. Chapter 2, motion in a plane. Chapter 3, circular motion. And another topic is vectors. So these are the four topics in this chapter, and weightage of this chapter is 3 to 4 questions is a weightage for the two competitive exams like in NEET and JEE. Here 4 chapters majorly we discussed in this kinematics, total kinematics. First chapter is motion in a straight line. So I would like to discuss starting from this motion in a straight line to up to ending this vectors. First I start from motion in a straight line. So now today I am going to discuss motion in a straight line. Already I uploaded basic concepts in kinematics. Now I am going to discuss the first chapter, motion in a straight line. Straight line. This is also called as motion in one dimension. Motion in one dimension, because straight line motion is nothing but one dimensional motion. One dimension means refers what no? Whether the body will be moves in single direction, unique direction. That means whether the body will be traveled in x-axis, or it may be y-axis, or it may be z-axis. The body will be restricted to one direction is called one dimension. That means this chapter is motion in a straight line or motion in one dimension. So now I start from basics in this chapter. First of all, distance and displacement. Already the physical world, units and measurements, we discuss these two topics, distance and displacement. But in this chapter, so I'll explain briefly about this distance and displacement. I'll give total explanation about this distance and displacement, because I already explained these two topics in physical world, units and measurement. But in that chapter, I'll given just a few lines about this distance and displacement. Now I'll give detailed explanation about this distance and displacement, because these concepts are very useful. These fundamentals are very useful for the solving typical problems in this chapter, right? So now what is meant by distance and displacement? What are the major note points in this? So first of all, distance. What is meant by distance? Definition for the distance: the total path covered by a body is called distance. The total path covered by a body is called distance. Next, distance is a scalar quantity. Distance is a scalar quantity. Distance is a scalar quantity. That means it has only magnitude. It has only magnitude. It has only magnitude. That means while we are going to explain about this distance, for example, a body travels on a straight road. That means travels on a road with a 50 kilometers, with a 40 kilometers. Here we mention just magnitude 40 or 50 kilometers. We doesn't given direction here. So distance has only scalar quantity is a distance and it has only magnitude. We didn't express this distance as in vector. That means because it doesn't having proper direction. So that means if your body starts from certain position, that will be reached to final destination place. So it means if it doesn't consider proper direction is called distance. Distance is a scalar quantity. The most important point in this distance is the note point is distance is always measured positive only. Distance is always measured positive only. Distance never be negative or zero. This is the most important point, students. Here distance is always measured in positive only. Distance never be zero, distance never be negative. So this is a statement and how can we explain this statement here? For example, let us consider one train here. So this is a train I consider. So this train will be moves on a track. So while the train is in motion, definitely it covers some distance. So is it true or not? Definitely it must cover distance. The distance never be zero here. Distance never be negative here. Is it or not? For a moving body, distance never be zero. Distance never be negative. This is very important. Distance is always measured in positive only. So next statement, for a moving body, distance never be negative. Distance never be zero or negative. So while the body is in motion means definitely travel some distance. This is very important point. Next, further important point is if time is increases, then distance never be decreases. For example, I am taking one body here. It is traveled on the road. If time is 9 p.m., it will be certain position. After 10 p.m., it will be certain position. That means, for example, 9 p.m. it travels 20 kilometers. For 10 p.m. it travels some 30 kilometers. For 11 p.m. it travels some 40 kilometers. That means here time is increases, the distance traveled by body will be increases. That means if time is increases, distance is never be decreases. This is very important point, students. So for time is increases, then distance never be decreases. Distance never be decreases. Distance never be decreases. Distance never be decreases. This is very important point. If time is increases, distance never be decreases. Well, so now up to now we discussed a few points about distance. So first point, The total path covered by a body is called distance. Definition for that one. Next, distance is a scalar quantity. It has only magnitude. It doesn't having proper direction. Next, distance is always measured positive only. Distance never be negative or a zero. For a moving body, distance never be zero or negative. That means distance is greater than 0 only. Distance is always greater than 0 only. It is not equal to 0. It is not equal to 0. It is never less than 0. It is never less than 0. It is not equal to 0. It is never less than 0. So distance is always greater than 0 only. For a moving body, distance never be 0 or a negative. Time is increases, then distance never be decreases. These are the few points about distance. Next, I will discuss displacement. Listen, students. After completion of this distance and displacement, I'll explain a few problems based upon this concept. Then after completion of these problems, you got a clear idea about this distance and displacement. Right here, displacement. First of all, definition. The shortest path between initial and final positions is called displacement. The shortest path between initial and final position is called displacement. For a particular, that means if you need to travel from one place to another place, we had several possibilities. But in that possibilities, we had only one route is there. That route is the very shortest between these two, that means points, initial and final position. That means the shortest path between initial and final position is called displacement. Displacement is vector quantity. Displacement is vector quantity. Vector quantity. That means it has magnitude plus direction. Because we moved in particular direction only, we traveled in shortest path. We reached in shortest path. So for example, this is one initial position, this is final position. I had several ways for the movement of a body, but only one route is there between these 2 points. That path is called shortest path. The shortest path between initial position and final position is called displacement. We traveled in this particular direction only, we reached in shortest path and shortest time. We reached in particular direction only, we traveled in particular direction only, we have to reach in less time. So this is very important. That's why displacement is a vector quantity, distance is a scalar quantity. So it has both magnitude and direction. Next, the most important thing is right here. Displacement is positive, negative, sometimes zero also. So distance is always measured positive only, but displacement is sometimes positive, negative and zero also. So because, for example, so let us consider one example. Geeta started from home. She travels up to market. up to market. So Geeta starts from home, she travels up to market. That means she travels from this here to here. So this distance is 5 kilometers. So Geeta brought vegetables and again returned back to its, that means again returned back to its home. So now displacement is the shortest path between initial and final position. Initial position is home only. Final position for this total path also home, because Geeta start from here and again reach it to here. So my dear students, here please focus. Initial position and final position both are same. Initial position for Geeta home only, final position for the Geeta home only, because again Geeta is returned back after brought vegetables. That means initial again returns back after brought vegetables. So that means here initial and final positions for Geeta is same. So whenever initial and final position both are same, at that time displacement is 0. So whenever in initial position and final position both are same, we take displacement is 0, because Geeta is returned back to its original position. So that's why displacement is what here? 0, because distance between the shortest path between initial and final position is what here? 0, because initial position and final position both are same. Whenever initial position, final position both are same, initial position, final position both are same, we got displacement is equal to 0. And also return back, if problem itself given return back to its original path, return back to its original path is mentioned, so you take displacement is 0. So please focus friends, don't panic here, just a simple thing. Whenever our traveling path return back to its original path is mentioned in the question, you just take displacement is equal to 0. And initial position, final position both are same, so you take displacement is equal to 0. So this is important thing. Next, so the displacement is positive, sometimes negative, sometimes 0 also. This is very important. Next, displacement is decreases even time is increases. Even time is increases, displacement is decreases. Displacement is maybe. So displacement is maybe decreases, even time is increases, because always not decreases. For example, sometimes displacement is decreases. For example, I start from here. Whether I travel to center, city center. So I start from here. For 1 hour, I travel 5 kilometers. After second hour, I return back, I traveled some 6 kilometers. That means, what is the total distance I traveled here? Distance is 5 plus 6, 11 kilometers. Displacement is 1 kilometer, because initial and final position. What I am telling here, first of all, I am traveled here. First 1 hour, I traveled 5 kilometers. After 1 hour, I traveled from this position to 6 kilometers. I reached here, somewhere it is. That means, what is the shortest path between initial and final position? What is initial position? This is. Final position is, this is final position. What is the shortest path between initial and final position? 1 kilometer. What is total distance traveled? 6 plus 5, 11 kilometers. I think you all are got this point. Distance is 5 plus 6, 11 kilometers. Total path you consider. Displacement means shortest path between initial and final position. What is the initial position for me? For me, initial position is this. For me, final position is this. What is the shortest path between these two? 1 kilometer is shortest path between this. That's why displacement is 1 kilometer, distance is 11 kilometers. And the most important thing is here, most important point, distance is always greater than or equal to displacement. Distance is always greater than or equal to displacement. Distance we taking, for example, here only we consider 6 plus 5, 11 kilometers. Here distance is 11 kilometers. Displacement is 1 kilometer. Which is greater here? Distance is greater than displacement or not? Distance is greater than displacement or not? Distance is greater than displacement here. So what I am telling is here, always for a traveling body, for a traveled body, always we consider distance is always greater than displacement. This is very important thing. So distance is always greater than displacement. I'll give some examples. After completion of this example, so you got a clear idea. But here consider this point. Distance is always greater than or equal to magnitude of displacement, because the displacement is a vector quantity. That's why we are taking magnitude. Magnitude of displacement is always less than that of distance. This is very important. Next, for a particular time, two positions of a body is not possible. This is very important point. For a particular time, two positions of a body is not possible. That means, for example, particular time means, for example, 9 a.m. is a time. At that 9 a.m. for a body can be possible to exist at two places? No. For a particular time, it is possible to exist in particular position only, particular place only. It cannot be possible to exist in several places at a particular time. For example, for this time I will be in AP. I am in AP. Whether it is possible to I am in that means Tamil Nadu, it is not possible. For example, if particular time I consider, if I am exist in one place only, for a particular time, two positions of a body is not possible. This is also very important. So I think, friends, you got a clear idea about this. So whether if you got any doubt regarding this, please comment it on this lecture. So comment box is available for you. So please comment on it. Thank you for this.